Hey, thanks for stopping by again. This is Brian with Samaritan Funeral Home. You can find us at SamaritanFuneralHome.com. Hey, we've been going over the last few weeks talking about death. Now I get it, death is not an easy subject to talk about. It's a challenge, and I want to encourage you to continue these conversations across the dinner table. Hey, there is a way to have healthy conversations about death, and because it's something that we all kind of face. So I want to encourage you to do that. Today I want to talk about, in this aspect of that, is the difference between at-need and pre-need. Okay, so at-need and pre-need. Perhaps you've heard those terms. And that at-need is basically I've lost my loved one this morning and I am at need. I am trying to get arrangements for my loved one today. And so that's where an at-need moment is. The other way is the pre-need, and here's where I'm going to kind of spend a little bit more of our time with this today, is this concept of pre-need. What this means is that here I'm going along and I need to get some things in order. I want to find out some documents. I want to tell the funeral home, what do I want? Do I want cremation? Do I want donation? Do I want burial? What is it that I'm wanting to do then? And as I do that, I formulate that, I can bring my family along, my loved one, and just say, here's where we're trying to go to. And I want to do this. I want a burial, and I want to have this casket, and I want to be buried at this cemetery, or I want to be shipped out over to here, whatever it might be. Or, hey, I just would like to have a cremation. It's just a direct cremation. Or I'd like to have a service with the cremation. And so you can place me in a casket and have a service there with me there, and have a viewing if you'd like. And so it's all those different elements. So in that pre-need concept, I can pencil all those things, my desires, my wishes, what I would prefer, right? So I would label all those out. Then the unique thing is that I can go ahead and pay for those services now at today's prices, right? So with that, what that means is that we can pencil everything in. Here's what it's going to cost for direct cremation, let's say, and this is all the thing that's included in that within the guarantee. So there's going to be some guaranteed services and products that's within the pre-need. Now below there's going to be some other items that's called non-guaranteed items. Now these non-guaranteed items sometimes are like this. So third-party charges. So let's talk about death certificates. Here in Arizona right now, Vital Records charges $20 per copy for a certified stamped death certificate, right? So with that certified copy, you can go and you use it for other financial reasons within your home and your estate. So if you need several of these, they can get pretty expensive, correct? So what happens later down the road, let's say, because Vital Records could increase their prices within the next year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, most guaranteed that they're going to raise those prices. So with that, it's a non-guaranteed cash advance item. So with that, the $20, hey, we're putting those in, setting that aside and placing those monies in there for that. But it could be possible that if it gets too out of line, that the family would have to pay for those differences. Now, there's a couple different ways here. They're in the pre-need side. Some funeral homes choose to use a trust mechanism, and some use an insurance mechanism. Now, the trust mechanism is like this. The funeral home, you pay some monies in, or you're making payments, or you pay the whole thing up front, whichever. You're making those, and the funeral home holds on to that cash, and they're responsible for those monies that you place in there. Now, we've had some challenges in the past few years or so with different mom and pop funeral homes that said, oh, I can do that, I can hang on to that, but the problem is things get thin, they get a little tight on business or what have you, and so then they begin to dip into those monies. And then all of a sudden it comes time to use those monies, and those monies are no longer there, and they've gone bankrupt, or they've done this, and it becomes a little, I would just give you a word of caution. Just make sure you do your due diligence as you're walking through that and understanding that whole trust system. There are other operations that are out there. They do a great job with the trust system, and they make it work for them and very well, but I just be cautious with that. We here, quite honestly, we use the insurance policy. And what we do with that is basically it's an insurance company, and they are licensed insurance individuals and licensed insurance companies, and those monies go to there. And those monies, they take those and they make them grow. All right, there's a certain interest rate that each insurance is different. It goes from there. When you begin to make those payments, or you make a one big payment and you just pay it off at the very beginning, those monies stay there. So case in point, we had this week, a family that I serve, we made a pre-need with them just 2.5 years ago for a direct cremation. Prices increased on those during that time, but we were able to put it with an insurance company and they grew along with them, and so all the fees were covered. Everything from all their death certificates, everything was covered. So I was able to sit across the family and just say, you owe us nothing. Here it is. The insurance policy took care of it. You are covered. I love having those conversations. It makes it so much easier for the family as they're sitting across the desk from me. I would encourage you to find out a little more about insurance. If you needed more information, don't hesitate to give us a call. Love to hear your quotes, comments. Maybe you have a different insight on it. Hey, let's hear about that. Drop that down there below that. You know, here we love to hear stories. We love to hear your story, and you have such amazing stories that are out there, and I want you to continue to tell those stories. If you're here and you need to tell your stories across to your loved ones, tell those stories now. It's so very important, because you are very important. Life well lived. Thanks again for stopping by. This is Brian. Once again, Samaritan Funeral Home. Find us at SamaritanFuneralHome.com should you have any questions. Have a great afternoon or evening. Peace and grace.